It's a great day. My name is Che Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur, and welcome to the Happy Entrepreneur Show, the number one business development and revenue focused late night show in the country where we are on a mission. And our mission really is to empower, our mission is to inspire, and our mission is to provide you, the entrepreneur, with all of the resources that are necessary to execute that big vision you have for the people you were called to serve. And on this episode, we have the one and only Renia, who's in the building, and she'll be talking about the power of beliefs. Renia, how are you?
I'm doing really well, thanks. How are you?
We're doing amazing. And everyone's looking at the topic saying the power of beliefs. And I'm not being a pessimist. I'm not a Debbie Downer, but they got to be asking, Shay, why in the LL Cool J are we talking about beliefs? Why are people struggling where we are today with just believing what's possible when they could, I don't know, go to Facebook and get inspired. They could watch a reel on Instagram and they can talk to AI and say, tell me something positive today, please. And they'll give them a whole list of positive things about them, yet they're struggling. So my question to you is, why are we having this conversation around the power of beliefs in this day and age?
Well, Shay, it has a lot to do with what is happening in our unconscious mind. In other words, what is really going on under there, right? So we have a lot of things that have been going on and recorded by our unconscious mind that part of you remembers it and is trying to keep you feeling safe, and you don't even realize like that this is happening. So a great example would be, of the old cell phones. If you had your app open for a long, long time, right? If you didn't realize you had all these like programs open, it would drain your battery. And so the same thing has happened. If you don't realize that you have these unconscious patterns that are there really running the show, then you're going to be stuck and your energy is going to be drained. And all of these different things that we have out there these days to distract us, like Netflix and Instagram and YouTube and TikTok, those are really distractions which keep us in this zombie-like state. So ultimately, the unconscious mind is the answer to your question.
I love it. And for those folks that are saying, Shay, beliefs mean different things to different people. Can you get a definition of what beliefs are? Like, what are beliefs? Like, what is our definition of belief, Shay? Because it could mean so many things to so many people. How would you define, I don't know, the word belief these days? Just so we all can be on the same page.
That is a good question. I mean, for me, it's your definitions of things. Because if you took 10 different people and if you put them into a situation, they would all see it differently based on their beliefs, based on their decisions. And where does that come from? Well, we all come into this world with a clean slate, but then we're taught things through various people, through our parents, through our siblings, through friends, teachers, TV, etc. And from all these experiences, we form these beliefs. So it has to do with, I believe, our definitions and our experience that creates these definitions.
Mm, I love it. So you talked about earlier that we have a lot going on. It's kind of like having the old, not that I know about those things, but I heard a story. I'm just joking about the old phones that would flip open and you leave them open, the battery dies. Great example. We have folks that here, a lot of them are dualpreneurs, by the way, Venya. They work full-time jobs. They're full-time entrepreneurs. They might be curious, okay, Shay, even if I believe I've got so much going on, how does one prioritize when they believe something is possible, but yet they're overwhelmed? Let me tell you what I mean by that, just so you can have some context. They take care of the husband or they take care of the wife. They're also responsible for working a full-time job. Then they come home and they work their business full-time. And oh, by the way, they want you to know they have kids, by the way, and the kids have schedules too. So they got the kids schedule, but yet they're also involved in the community, by the way. So they got a lot going on in the community, and they got all these priorities that are grabbing their time. The question for you on the other side is, man, they believe they can do so much more and be so much more. But how do you prioritize? How does someone be able to maintain all that and still be able to take care of themselves and do the things they need to be able to do? Any
That is
recommendations or suggestions?
that is such a great question because so many people fall into that category. So I'm going to start off by getting you to participate with me, and I'm going to demonstrate something. Are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay, I want you to point to the side wall with your finger, and I want you to say, "It's all your fault."
It's all your fault. Your fault. Yes.
Excellent. Now, with your hands like this, I want you to go, anything you want, I'm just here for you.
Anything you want, I'm just here for you.
Excellent. Are you sure you're not an actor?
No, I'm here for myself. I'm here for me. I like that one.
Okay, now I want you to put your finger on your chin very analytically, and I'd like you to say, if I were to analyze this, I would find.
If I was to analyze this, I would find.
Good. And now I want you to look in the other direction and go with point up to the ceiling and go, and just I want you to stick your tongue up and go, blah.
Ah!
Excellent. Okay. Don't worry. There is some there is a method to my madness. So there is this world-renowned family therapist. Her name is Virginia Satir, and she noticed that throughout her career that all of the people, all of the thousands of people that came to see her would fall into one of four categories in terms of how they would react automatically to things in life. So I'll demonstrate those four things by telling you a story of four people in a boat, and the boat is sinking, and there's a hole in the bottom of the boat. And the blamer says, it's all your fault. And the pleaser or the placater says, anything you want, I'm here for you. I'll just swim to shore so the boat won't sink as fast. Okay, a lot of moms and wives fall into that category. The other person says, in exactly 7 hours and 3 minutes, we're going to sink and die. And then the distractor says, look, a bird. Let's chase something sparkly. Okay, so we all fall into these categories. And a lot of us, even though you can say we have a little bit of all of these, there is usually one or two dominant ones. So these have to do with these patterns that we've developed when we were younger. So maybe we went through these situations when we were younger where we learned to be very controlling, or we learned to always please other people because things were really unpleasant at home and we just wanted to be loved and accepted. So we didn't want to rock the boat. So you became a placater or a pleaser. So these patterns have been developed at a really young age to keep us feeling safe. And so as we mature and grow into adulthood, we still have these patterns that are under there that are really running the show, and they're outdated. And so another example would be, have you ever believed in Santa Claus, Shay?
Uh, when I was very small, yes.
Okay. And
Guilty.
do you still believe in Santa Claus?
Who?
Santa Claus?
Who? No, I'm joking. Yeah, I believe in me. Yes, absolutely, 100%. I have a wonderful
I
Christmas every year.
in the same way, did you that you believed in Santa Claus when you were younger? Do you still have that same way of believing, right? So you're able to drop that belief, right? Because you matured, and of course, it didn't make sense to believe that. But
Yeah,
yet, a lot of these patterns that are in the unconscious, we never had the opportunity to really analyze them and then drop them and be like, you know what? That's not fitting for me anymore. It was something that was necessary for me when I was young, but now that I'm in my 30s, 40s, 50s, I don't need it anymore. And so that's really it. We are stuck in these patterns that keep us from going forward. So either we're blaming people, either we're such pleasers that we always put other people first and never ourselves, either ahead or even equal to the other people, or you're always in your head talking to yourself, talking yourself out of doing things, very analytical. And then some people are always on their phones, they're on Facebook, they're on Instagram, they're on TikTok, and they're totally distracting themselves. Look, a bird. So going back to my analogy, nobody's actually just like plugging the hole in that boat. They are in their patterns of the blaming and all these various ways that they are really just being run by their unconscious mind. Does that make sense to you?
makes a lot of sense, and that was a lot of clarity. That's the best I think I've heard it explained. Great job, by the way. I now understand.
Well, thank
As you were saying that, we're thinking, wow, Shay, I didn't get a chance to read her bio. Someone's thinking, I'm listening to the podcast right now. Someone is at the gym right now. They're working out and you're in their ears. They're like, who is this person? Like, what's her backstory? Okay, what she's saying is making sense, but I would like to know, Shay, can you slow down for a moment? Can she share her backstory on who is she? And then what was that defining moment that led her to doing what she's doing now, which helping people really raise their beliefs and do the things they've always wanted to do?
Well, that's a great question. I am a clinical hypnotist and I'm also an NLP practitioner. NLP stands for neurolinguistics program. So my clinic is called Loving Hypnosis, which is here in beautiful Paris, Ontario, Canada. I do sessions in person and online, and I've helped a lot of people with things like weight loss, stop smoking, stress management, confidence, sports improvement, letting go of fears and phobias such as nail biting, public speaking, all kinds of things. So this is why I have this, I guess, this angle of being able to help people because it really it comes down to understanding what a person's pattern is, having them become aware of it, teaching them how to interrupt their pattern so that they can take their reality into one that they prefer.
Mm, I like that. I like that. That is spot on. And as you were talking, as you were speaking, I was wondering, what do you enjoy most about what you're doing these days? Because as you talk about beliefs, it lights up. And don't worry, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to ask if she has any affirmations and all that in a moment. But as you start talking about the power of beliefs, it's kind of like you see this light bulb go off, like the sparkle in your eyes. So, what do you enjoy most about what you're doing these days?
Well, that is easy. The answer to that is the client changes basically. When I see a climate transform, it is just the best feeling in the world. I can give you so many examples, but just one of the latest ones was a teenager who stopped going to school. Okay, she was 17 years old, stopped going to school, was having panic attacks, had to be medicated because she was having these panic attacks, just could not leave the house, just like so sad and depressed and didn't think that anything could be changed. So through our sessions, we had about, I think it was about 10 sessions, she was able to, it's like changing her point of view, seeing things and understanding that things that happen in the past, there's no such thing as a mistake. It's all learning. There is no such thing as failure. It's all learning. And you can have ways where you learn to trade in that karma for wisdom. And just like in the example that I gave you, if you can get to a place like when you used to believe in Santa Claus and you no longer have that belief, dropped it, right? If you can do that with other parts of your life and get over that hump to see things with a sense of humor and understand that you were attached to an illusion, that you were simply just looking at a rope thinking it was a snake. If you can understand that we are these human beings who just give meaning to everything based on our beliefs and experiences, but it's not like they're empirical truths, a lot of these patterns that we have, they're just patterns that have been repeated over and over and over. So hypnosis is quite fascinating. And the thing that I love most about it is that it actually works. It's drug free, and the client results just are the most wonderful thing ever.
I love it. There are folks that are two parts, two type of individuals that are watching right now. Hopefully, we can help both of them. There are one group of folks that maybe life's kind of hit them with the punch they never saw coming. Right, the rug's been pulled underneath for them. They've got to get back on track, and they might be like, "Man, Shay, what's the first step, or second step, or third step that she would recommend to someone like myself?" Because I've been hit pretty hard, and I'm trying to believe, but it's just believing is just not getting me there fast enough. So, what are one or two things you can do to help them believe again, if that's the case, if I can say it like that and get going? I know it's a loaded question because many are different ages, different spaces, different backgrounds, but she'll do the best she can. And then there's another group of folks, and maybe the answer is the same. I don't know. They're doing really well. Like this has been the best year of their life. They got the pedal to the metal. The future is so bright. They got sunglasses on, and they're like, "Man, I want to keep it going." What is one or two things she recommends to me? Because it's just I got my sunglasses on, Shay. It's so bright out here. This is great. So you get the question. What's one, two, or three steps that maybe each of them can do? If they're the same, that's fine. That can help them in this belief and continue to raise their belief so they can go to that whole another level. Because trust me, if you're listening right now, no matter where you are, and I believe Renia would agree with me, there is another level. Over to you.
For sure. There is. There for sure there is. Well, I'd have to separate those two categories because they are different. They're in different places, right? So I'm going to start with a person who just got like punched and their life is just a mess and they're feeling really down. This is a very difficult situation. It's a particular vibration that you're in at that point, right? And we've all been there. You've probably been there at some point in your life too, right, Shay?
Absolutely.
Okay, so if anybody's listening out there and if they are in that place right now, number one is I want you to take in a deep breath. And you can do it with me, Shay. Good. Number two, I want you to move your body. So if you're sitting down, stand up and shake it out.
Shake it out, shake it out. Woo!
Yeah, shake it out. Walk across the room, get a drink of water, do any kind of movement, okay? Change your physiology, okay? Number three, okay, this is going to be something that's different for everybody. So I want you to play along with me, Shay. Close your eyes and think of a time in the past where you were laughing out loud. Could have been to a movie or with friends. And once you get there, let me know.
I'm there.
Observe your body and how does your physical body feel as you remember this?
Good. Very good.
Good. Do you feel like a change? Like, is there? Can you describe anything, or what do
I
you
feel like my
feel?
whole energy is shifted. Like I got this surge of energy inside of me.
Okay, and is it all over, or in a specific space in your body?
It's kind of all over. 'Cause I'm sitting down, but it's kind of like a
Yeah.
flow.
Okay, good, good. Now I want you to put your hand on a fist while you feel that. And so this is something that is easy to do. It's called an anchor. So open up your eyes. So you associated a feeling that you have, right? Because I could tell when you remembered that, you all of a sudden had this smile on your face, right? And then you have the feeling, it just like all of these, like this feeling of like lightness in your body or whatever it was for you. So when you remember that feeling, it literally changes your state. Now, if a person can practice that, okay, by the three things I just taught you, number one, taking in a big breath. Number two, moving your body like a maniac. And number three, just stopping and remember a time when you did laugh. You can literally change that. Now, it's really important to have focus because even when you're driving a car, you are focused and looking quite a few meters down the road, right? You're not just looking right in front of your car, you're looking further down the road so that you have this like scope of vision, right? So you know what's coming. Just in the same way, it's really important to have a goal, an end result that you're going to. No matter how hard it is, just envision what would you want it to be like? What would that feel like? And then from that, it's like you work backwards and just take these like little steps. Like what little step could I take today that it is in alignment to that? So that would be one piece of advice that I would give to that person. Now, if they're really down and out, they would just do the first three steps and continue to do that because sometimes life is really hard and you just feel like, oh my God, it is all just hell. But you know what? This is Earth. Planet Earth is the planet of duality, and we have light and dark here. The whole point of it is to experience all these different things and to use our power of free choice to choose whether you're going to co create with lightness and darkness, and to know that all of these experiences that we have had in our lives are really just learning. So when you have a really negative experience, okay, well, so what? It's temporary. It's going to pass eventually. And then, oh, what did I learn from that? And what an incredible, interesting life I had, right? So how does that sound, Shay?
I love it. I love it. That's spot on. Thanks for sharing that with us and being so open and transparent. And it's probably a good segue, by the way, as you were speaking to a segue we have here called Today is My January 1st. Now, for those folks who tune in every night at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you know what we're about to do. You can go ahead and say those magical words. Today is my January 1st. For all the new folks who are tuning in for the very first time, welcome, welcome, welcome to the Happy Entrepreneur Show. Today is my January 1st. Represents a fresh start. It's our personal mantra. It means we get a do-over. It means the past, no matter how dark and gloomy that past is or how bright and sunny that past is, it no longer equals our future. So my question for Renia on the other side is that when you hear those words, today is my January 1st, what do you hear? And number two, what was a moment maybe in your life there was things didn't go the way they were supposed to? There was a setback, and how did you bounce back from it?
I've had so many setbacks. Which one do I choose from? Like, I mean, oh my gosh. Movement is a huge thing for me. I've always been very active. Going out for a walk when things are really down. In my healing journey, because I've been through some unpleasant experiences when I was younger, and it just left me feeling lack of self worth, lack of self love, and I honestly did not know where to go. And so, really, it has to do a lot with taking the time to be kind to yourself. I got help from various, types of helpers and healers. But ultimately, what did I do? I decided to surround myself with people who were vibing high, people who were positive, people that I laughed with. And I realized that there are people out there who have also been in horrible situations in their lives, and that it doesn't mean it's the end of the world. So it's temporary, it's going to pass. If you can see other people's stories and know that people have had a lot worse situations than I have, and they bounced right back up eventually and they had incredible lives, well, it showed me that I could do that too.
I love it, by the way. One of my favorite questions to ask, as you were being so authentic and transparent with us, is what's one of the best pieces of advice you've ever been given? Now, I'll frame it for the audience that she's had a lot of mentors, I'm sure, along this journey of life. She's read countless books. I don't know how many books. She's probably watched more video than she could probably even recall or remember these days. But if she had to reach out and say, man, here's one of the best pieces of advice I've ever been given. Here's what it is and here's why, and share it with you, the audience, what would it be? Well, that's the question. What's one of the best pieces of advice you've ever been given?
The best piece of advice that I have ever been given is to realize that everything is my responsibility. Everything is my responsibility. You can't blame others. Everything has been created on some level. And as humans, we like to think that, oh, we only created the good things. But it's really hard to admit that, yes, we have also created the things that are unpleasant. We're creator beings and we created it all. So once I took that in and realized that, then I really empowered myself. So that would be the greatest piece of advice that I've ever gotten.
What do you do for fun when you're not out saving the world and making a
Dancing,
difference? What do you do for
dancing.
fun?
Yeah, dancing. I do a dance called West Coast Swing, and also Ecstatic Dance Toronto. I love the outdoors. I love swimming and nature.
It's keeping you very, very busy, which is really cool, by the way. As we come
Yeah.
down the home stretch, two-part question for those folks that are watching. They might be curious. Number one, what type of clients are you looking to work with these days, if any? And number two, how can folks best connect with you? How can they stay in this conversation over and beyond the time that you and I have now?
Yes, I am looking for clients always. I do sessions both in person or online, so I can handle clients internationally. I help people a lot with weight loss, stop smoking, stress management, confidence. I've had professional dancers come, people who want to better their game. And so the best way to connect with me would be on my website at lovinghypnosis.com.
Say that website one more time.
Lovinghypnosis.com.
Good. I love it. Thanks to Robert
Yeah.
for connecting us, by the way. He's an amazing human being. Thank you so much for
Yes.
being on the Happy Entrepreneur Show.
Thank you so much for having me. It was a lot of fun.
We appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you to viewers. Thank you for tuning in. Without you, well, there is no show. Okay. So I never get tired of reminding you every night at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time that you're amazing as you're watching. You're truly incredible. You're a special person, even as you are today. And no matter what's going on in your life, I believe that today is your January 1st. And because of just that one reason alone, your best is still yet to come. Your best is yet to come. Your best is yet to come. With that being said, my name is still hasn't changed. Shay Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur. Make it a great day, everyone. And we'll make some good things how we connect again next time. God bless. Thanks a lot, by the way. Renia, peace, everybody. We out.